The camera fades in on the bright, cheerful set of Lorraine Kelly's morning show, with the host herself, Lorraine, sitting comfortably in her plush armchair, a warm smile plastered across her face as she welcomes her guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for the one and only Rowan Atkinson. She announces enthusiastically, and the audience erupts into cheers as Rowan, dressed in a sharp suit with his signature quirky tie, strides onto the stage with that familiar awkward gait reminiscent of Mr. Bean. He waves sheepishly, taking his seat opposite Lorraine, who leans in with her notepad ready. "Rowan, it's such a pleasure to have you here. You've been making us laugh for decades with Mr. Bean, Blackadder, and so much more. But today, I want to talk about something a bit more serious: your recent comments on free speech and comedy." Rowan's expression shifts slightly, his eyebrows furrowing as he nods politely. "Yes, well, I've always believed that comedy should push boundaries, shouldn't it? Without the freedom to offend, we risk stifling creativity." Lorraine chuckles lightly, but there's a hint of tension in her voice as she presses on. "But Rowan, some people say that in today's world, certain jokes just aren't acceptable anymore. Don't you think we need to be more sensitive?" Rowan leans back, crossing his legs, and responds thoughtfully, "Sensitivity is important, but so is the right to express ideas, even unpopular ones. If we start censoring humor, where does it end?" The audience murmurs in agreement, but Lorraine's smile tightens. She counters, "Well, what about the people who get hurt by those jokes? Isn't it our responsibility as entertainers to avoid causing harm?" Rowan pauses, then says firmly, "Harm is subjective. Comedy often highlights absurdities in society. Remember, offense is taken, not given." The exchange heats up as Lorraine interjects, "But in your case, Rowan, some of your past roles have been criticized for being insensitive to certain groups. Do you regret any of that?" Rowan's face hardens a bit. "Regret? Art evolves, but retrospectively judging it through modern lenses is dangerous. It's like rewriting history." The studio lights seem brighter as the conversation intensifies, with Lorraine pushing back. "Dangerous? Or just progressive? We have to move with the times." Rowan shakes his head, his voice rising slightly. "Moving with the times shouldn't mean erasing the past or silencing voices. That's authoritarian." The audience gasps softly, sensing the shift from light banter to a real debate. Lorraine, trying to maintain control, says, "Let's not get too heated here, Rowan. This is a morning show, after all." But Rowan, now fully engaged, replies, "Heated? This is discussion. If we can't have it here, where can we?" The back and forth continues, with Lorraine quoting critics and Rowan defending his stance passionately. Suddenly, Lorraine's tone sharpens. "Rowan, you're being quite defensive. Perhaps we should move on." But he persists. "Defensive? I'm just stating facts." The tension builds as commercials loom, but the argument doesn't let up, leading to an uncomfortable silence broken only by the host's forced laugh. As the segment drags on, Rowan's frustration becomes evident, his gestures more animated, mimicking some of his comedic styles but with an edge. Finally, after a particularly pointed remark from Lorraine about outdated views, Rowan stands up abruptly. "I think I've had enough of this interrogation disguised as an interview." The audience holds its breath as he walks off stage, leaving Lorraine stunned, her mouth agape. She quickly recovers, saying to the camera, "Well, that was unexpected." We'll be right back after this break. The screen fades to commercials, but the buzz in the studio is palpable, with crew members whispering about the dramatic exit. Back from the break, the camera zooms in on Lorraine, who appears composed but with a slight flush on her cheeks, addressing the audience directly. "Welcome back, everyone." As you saw, our interview with Rowan Atkinson took an unexpected turn. We always aim for lively discussions here, but sometimes things get a bit too intense. The audience claps supportively, but there's an undercurrent of excitement about the earlier drama. Meanwhile, in the green room, Rowan is seen pacing, his phone in hand, perhaps texting his agent about the mishap. Cut to flashbacks of the exchange, Lorraine asking, "Rowan, your advocacy for free speech, does it extend to hate speech?" And Rowan's retort, "Hate speech is a slippery term. Who decides what's hateful? Bureaucrats? That's the real danger." The video script intercuts with audience reactions, some nodding in agreement with Rowan, others looking shocked at his boldness. Lorraine, on air, continues, "Rowan is a comedy genius, no doubt, but opinions differ, and that's what makes these chats interesting." However, off-camera leaks suggest the producers are scrambling, debating whether to invite him back or issue an apology. The narrative delves deeper into Rowan's background, narrating how his career has always balanced slapstick with satire, from his Not the 9 o'clock news days to his vocal opposition to UK laws restricting speech. Rowan has never shied away from controversy. The voiceover might say, though this is a script without voiceover, so it's embedded in the dialogue recreations. Reenacting the moment, Lorraine probes, "What about the impact on marginalized communities?" Rowan counters, "Comedy can empower them too, by ridiculing oppressors." The argument escalates when Lorraine brings up specific examples from his work, like Blackadder's historical jabs or Mr. Bean's physical comedy being seen as ableist by some. Ableist, it's absurdity for absurdity's sake, Rowan exclaims, his voice echoing in the studio. The host, feeling the heat, says, "Rowan, calm down, this isn't a debate show." But he fires back, "Then why are you debating me?" The standoff reaches a peak when Lorraine implies his views are out of touch with younger generations. Out of touch? Or just honest? Rowan snaps, standing up and removing his mic. "I came here to promote my new project, not to be ambushed." As he storms off, the camera captures Lorraine's wide-eyed surprise, calling after him, "Rowan, wait." But he's gone, the door slamming behind him. The show cuts to a filler segment on celebrity fashion, but the internet is already ablaze with clips going viral. Social media reactions flood in, tweets praising Rowan's stand for free speech, others criticizing him for rudeness. Lorraine, ever the professional, wraps up the segment gracefully, "Differing views make the world go round. Thanks to Rowan for joining us, albeit briefly." The episode continues with lighter topics, but the shadow of the exchange lingers, turning what was meant to be a fun appearance into a memorable clash of ideologies. In the aftermath, the video script explores the online frenzy, with montages of Twitter and Now-Zap posts flashing on screen. Rowan Atkinson just toned Lorraine, "free speech, countered by disrespectful exit." Rowan, "Not cool." Lorraine show. The narrative weaves through expert opinions, perhaps a quick cut to a media analyst saying, "This highlights the tension between traditional comedy and modern sensitivities." Back on the set, Lorraine addresses the incident in a follow-up episode. "Yesterday's chat with Rowan got a bit spicy, but that's live TV for you." She laughs it off, but rumors swirl about backstage apologies. Delving into Rowan's perspective, imagine him in an interview later, "I didn't plan to leave, but when the conversation turned accusatory, I felt it best to exit gracefully or as gracefully as I can." The script builds tension by replaying key moments in slow motion, emphasizing facial expressions, Lorraine's raised eyebrow, Rowan's exasperated sigh. The exchange began innocently enough with talk of his upcoming film, but veered when Lorraine asked about his petition against hate speech laws. "Those laws are well-intentioned but overreach," Rowan explained patiently at first. "They could criminalize jokes." Lorraine retorted, "Jokes that punch down aren't funny." Rowan, animated now, "Who decides what punches down? It's subjective." The audience shifts uncomfortably as voices rise. Rowan, "You're yelling." Lorraine notes, "No, I'm passionate." He replies. The producer's voice in her earpiece urges her to wrap up, but she pushes, "Let's hear from the audience." A few hands raise. One supporter says, "Rowan's right, a comedy needs freedom." Another disagrees, "Times change." Rowan, the debate spills over, with Rowan addressing the crowd directly, "If we can't laugh at ourselves, society becomes brittle." Lorraine, regaining control, "All right, let's not turn this into a town hall." But the damage is done. Rowan's frustration boils over. "This isn't an interview, it's a trial." He stands, mic dropping with a thud, and walks off amid gasps. Lorraine, flustered, "Well, folks, that's showbiz." The script then shifts to historical context, narrating how Atkinson has long championed free expression, citing his 2012 speech. "In a free society, the right to offend is essential. He once said, "This incident, though heated, underscores that belief." As the video progresses, it includes fan recreations and memes, like Mr. Bean storming off in silence. Lorraine's team issues a statement: "We value diverse opinions and regret if the discussion caused discomfort." Rowan's camp responds. Rowan stands by his views and appreciates the platform, brief as it was. The fallout boosts ratings, with clips amassing millions of views. Ultimately, the script portrays the event as a catalyst for broader discussions on cancel culture and comedy's role in society. Expanding on the cultural impact, the video script imagines panel discussions post-incident, with comedians weighing in. "Rowan's exit was iconic. Mr. Bean meets real talk," says one. Another defends Lorraine. "She was just doing her job, asking tough questions." The narrative reconstructs the full dialogue for clarity. Lorraine starts, "Rowan, your work is timeless, but do you worry about offending in 2026? He laughs. "Offending? That's the point sometimes." But as she lists grievances from online critics, his humor fades. "Critics? Everyone's a critic now with social media." Lorraine nods. "Exactly, and they hold us accountable." Rowan counters, "Accountable for laughs? That's absurd." The back and forth intensifies with references to specific sketches, like Johnny English's spy antics being imperialist per some views. "Imperialist? It's parody," Rowan exclaims. Lorraine presses, "Parody can still hurt." He retorts, "Hurt feelings aren't the end of the world." The audience applauds sporadically, divided. When Lorraine suggests he apologize for past trolls, that's the breaking point. "Apologize? For entertaining millions? Never," Rowan declares, rising to his feet. This conversation is over. As he exits, stage left, Lorraine calls, "Rowan, come back. We have more to discuss." But he's out, leaving her to ad-lib. "Well, that was abrupt. Let's move to our next guest." The script includes behind-the-scenes speculation. Did producers egg on the controversy for views? Was it scripted? Insiders deny, insisting it was genuine. Rowan's post-show tweet, lively debate turned lecture. "Better luck next time." Lorraine retweets with a heart emoji, diffusing tension. The video explores similar incidents in TV history, like walk-offs by other celebs, drawing parallels. From Bill O'Reilly to modern talk shows, clashes happen, narrates the implied voice. Fan theories abound. Was it promo for a new project, or real beef? Interviews with attendees reveal mixed feelings. Rowan was passionate, Lorraine professional. The script builds to a reconciliation angle, perhaps a fictional follow-up where they reunite virtually. "No hard feelings," Lorraine says. "Agreed." Rowan nods. But the core message remains. In an era of polarized views, even morning TV can spark fire. The paragraph delves into psychological analysis. Why did Rowan snap? Pressure from years in the spotlight, or genuine conviction? Experts chime in. Atkinson's introverted persona clashes with confrontational formats. Ultimately, the event cements his status as a free speech advocate, inspiring petitions and debates. As the video winds down this section, it teases long-term effects. Will this hurt or help his career? Time will tell. To flesh out the script further, consider the media storm that followed, with headlines blaring Mr. Bean bolts from breakfast TV. Tabloids dissect every word, frame by frame. The narrative recreates extended dialogue. After initial pleasantries, Lorraine dives in. "Rowan, you've spoken against woke culture." Elaborate? He obliges. "It's not against progress, it's against dogma that suppresses humor." She challenges, "But dogma protects the vulnerable." Rowan, "Protection that silences is tyranny." The exchange spirals, touching on global issues like censorship and comedy worldwide. In some countries, comedians are jailed, Rowan notes. Lorraine, "But here, it's about respect." Respect includes tolerating disagreement. When she accuses him of insensitivity, he quips, "Insensitivity? Or honesty?" Laughter from some, boos from others. The turning point, Lorraine says, "Your generation doesn't get it." Rowan, "Ageism now? That's rich." Standing, he declares, "I'm done." Exit stage right. Lorraine, to camera, "Unexpected. But we press on." The script includes public reactions. Polls show 60% side with Rowan, 40% with Lorraine. Celebrities tweet support Ricky Gervais. Go Rowan. Others criticize. Poor form walking off. The video analyzes body language. Rowan's crossed arms signal defense. Lorraine's lean-in shows engagement turning to frustration. Post-incident, Rowan's team releases a statement. The discussion veered from promotion to personal attack. Lorraine's show ratings spiked 20%, proving controversy sells. The paragraph explores hypothetical aftermath. A parody skit on SNL. Mr. Bean silently storming off. Real-life implications. Increased scrutiny on talk shows questioning styles. Hosts must balance probing and politeness, says a TV critic. Rowan's career trajectory. New stand-up special on free speech, possible. The script humanizes both. Lorraine, a beloved host known for warmth, perhaps caught off guard Rowan, the reclusive genius, protective of his craft. As debates rage online, forums dissect. Was it staged? Evidence suggests noted genuine surprise and reactions. The video concludes this part with a call for civility. In heated exchanges, walking away might be the wisest move. Yet, it sparks needed conversations on where comedy draws the line. Wrapping up the video script, the final reflections ponder the legacy of the incident, now dubbed the Atkinson exit. Months later, both parties reflect. Lorraine in an interview, "It was intense, but no regrets. We need these talks." Rowan, "It highlighted the very issue I champion, open dialogue without fear." The narrative recaps the full arc, from warm welcome to fiery debate on free speech, culminating in the dramatic walk-off. Key quotes replay, "Offense is taken, not given. We must be sensitive." The audience's role amplified the drama, their reactions fueling the fire. Social media's amplification turned a TV moment into a cultural phenomenon, with hashtags trending worldwide. Analysts predict, more celebs will prep for tough questions, hosts will tread carefully. The script includes a montage of similar clashes, Kanye on Ellen, Trump on various shows. Patterns emerge. For Rowan, it boosts his advocate image. For Lorraine, it showcases her resilience. Hypothetical reunion, fancy another chat? She jokes. "Only if it's been free," he quips. The event underscores TV's evolution, from scripted fluff to raw reality. As the video fades out, a final thought: in a divided world, such exchanges, though heated, bridge gaps or widen them, but they keep us talking, laughing, and thinking. The end credits roll over clips of Rowan's iconic moments, reminding viewers of his enduring charm despite the storm. 1,498 characters. Wait, this last one is shorter, but to meet the approx 2,500, I can extend with more details, expanding, include fan art, memes like when the interview goes bean shaped, discuss impact on young comedians. It inspires them to stand firm. Broader societal implications, debates in parliaments on speech laws, citing the incident. Personal anecdotes, Rowan's childhood influences on his views. Lorraine's history of handling tough guests. Conclude with optimism, clashes like this evolve culture,